this camp life, this camp life, this camp life. Yeah, we live this camp life. Yeah, we prophesy 365 for this camp life, this camp life.
Boots lace, you know we came to ride. All in your block, don't care about the odds. This truth is do or die. Come crown the kings and watch how we bling. We here 365. While you and your dreams, we on the scene, saving our people's lives. What a time to be alive when it's going down. I got both eyes on the same prize. If you're trying to build, then it's hammer time.
Hey, what's happening, man? I want you to listen to that. Jeremiah 2. Jeremiah 2:11. We're talking about the other nations, right? What God do they follow? Now he alluded to it by saying they have idols. They have no God, right? Read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 11. Hath a nation changed their God?
So listen up. What's your name, bro? Israel. I'm Yari. What's your name? Joshua. I'm Yari. Look. So the first question, read it again.
Hath a nation changed their God?
The question was, has the nations changed their God? Meaning what? No. Think about it. The so-called Chinese, right? Japanese. Who do they worship to? Buddha. What does Buddha look like?
You know, he looked like a Pokemon.
He looks like them.
Bring it out!
He's originally black man.
Buddha looks like
Originally black man.
them. You understand? Now you say originally he's a black man. Originally the Chinese are darker too, right? Buddha looks like who? The people that worship him. How about the Arabian man? Who do they worship? Don't know? Muhammad, right? Allah, they gonna say is the spirit, right? But Muhammad, right? Looks like who again? Them. What about the Indian man? Not the Native American, but the Indian, the red dot. East Indian. Yeah, the East Indian. Who do they worship?
Krishna.
Right, Krishna, multiple arms, right? Who does Krishna look like? The people who worship him. How about the so-called white man? Who do they worship?
So that means.
Hold on, I know I'm getting somewhere, and I want to hear that. We gonna finish this off real quick.
It looks like them.
Caesar Borgia, right? Or Caesar Borgia, right? The infamous Jesus Christ. Now I'll quote that, right? Read it again.
Hath a nation changed their God, which are yet no gods?
Which are what?
Which are yet no God.
The Bible just said he's not a god. Krishna, not a god. Buddha, not a god. None of these entities that the other nations worship that looks like them are not gods. There's only one true God. Who does he look like? The people who's supposed to be worshiping him.
That's right.
But the problem is, we're the only ones, when I say we, the blacks, natives, and Latinos, who looks like the true God, are the only people who don't worship their God. We want to worship everyone else's non-God. The Bible just said they're not gods. And we want to worship everyone else's idol instead of worshiping the God that looks like us. Isn't that strange? When you go to your grandmama's house, who does she got up as God?
That.
And if it's a black man, he got long stringy hair. He looked like him, but dark brown skin, right? Not the true God of the Bible.
Bring it out!
That's why he read this. Go back to Deuteronomy 10 and 12. This is why he was reading this to you. Because it's a big thing to understand history, right? Because guess what? If we don't know truly what happened to us, how can we correct?
So that's what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
History is written by the victors.
Right?
The people that win in battle.
Right?
So it makes sense why this depiction right here, right? Because the Spaniards and the white people, the Vikings, that's all they do. They like to conquer, go to different lands, and
That's right.
and kill and what's the word? With the
Pillage?
Pillage.
Right.
That's what they do. So now that you say it, it makes sense, right? Because people have always had their ideologies, but what you call them, Edomites? Is that
Edomites,
the
right?
The Edomites, what they do is...
Or
they go
Esau,
to,
right?
Or Esau, they go to different lands, correct me if I'm wrong.
Go ahead.
They kill, they pillage, and then the victors write history.
Watch this. I'm not going to correct you. I'm going to show you what you said is in the Bible. Psalms 94 verse 11. Watch this.
And I'm just thinking out loud. So
That's perfect. That's perfect. Listen up, Joshua. Israel's on to something. Watch this. Read. You got it. Go ahead. Pull that. Psalms 94 11. Read that. Because you said they go to other places, kill, pillage, steal.
Shown,
right. And like you said.
and
like you said.
Netflix, right?
Oh, yeah, 45 of that. I said 94.
On social media,
I said 94. I said that.
on social media, all you see now is this resurgence of Viking shows.
Right.
Viking this, Viking that.
Pushing their narrative.
That's what I'm saying.
Pushing their narrative. Why? Like you said, history is really just his story. The victor's story.
Exactly.
Right? Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 49 and verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
That's their inward thought. What is it? Oh, bless America. What is it? God bless America, right? Their inward thoughts is that their houses will live forever. Read.
And their dwelling places to all generations.
And their dwelling places through all generations. Read.
They call their lands after their own names.
They call what? Read it again.
They call their lands after their own names.
They call the lands that they conquer after their own names. That's why you have Richport, Puerto Rico, right?
So before
that's why you have the U.S. of A. Or this, we're living in Washington State. Who conquered that? You see what I'm saying?
Before Washington State, it was the indigenous people probably called it something else.
They had a different name, just like when you talk about Africa, right? The Roman general Leo Scipio Africanus named it after him, Africa.
Was it Kemet before?
You see what I'm saying? Kemet, right? Or how about the land of Canaan? Or how about just Israel? People don't realize that, right? Because now they put a damn a strip of water and made us think that it's different. Made us think that it's two different territories. Because they put a strip of water, they dug a hole. You see that? But watch this. I'm going to further the plot that you speak of. Go to Psalms 83. Because it's not conspiracy theory. This is the truth of the matter. And there's only one truth. That's why there's only one true history. Not the narrative that's pushed by the victor, like you said. Read. Verse 3.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
It said they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Now you may ask, who's the they that this verse is talking about? Read verse 1.
Verse 1.
So now remember, this is a Psalms, right? This is actually not written by David. This Psalms is written by Asaph, right? Read.
Keep not thou silence, O God.
So he's saying, don't keep silence, God. Read.
Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a...
Wait, he said, God, your enemies do what?
Make a tumult, and they that hate thee.
Now, you know, tumult is the root word to tumultuous, right? So they make a large, loud gathering, right? Make a tumult, read.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
It said, those that hate thee lifted up their head, meaning they're proud, right? Read.
They have said, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They said, okay, so now Asaph said they've taken crafty counsel against your people, they've consulted against thy hidden ones. Who is that? He's going to name them. Read.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us cut them off from being a nation. Now here's the golden question. Read.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of who?
The name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Now check it out, Israel. Joshua, when you go to any job applications, you go anywhere, matter of fact, at this point, anywhere on earth, and you fill out any documentation, and they already have bubbles for you to select, right?
I check other.
Other. But why?
Because, I mean, for me, I don't fit none of those descriptions.
Because you're not black. That's the color in the crayon box.
I know, I'm from Botswana, so there gotta be a section. If it's
right?
in Botswana, I'll check
right?
that off.
You're not. Hey, by the way, Botswana, where's that at?
It's above South Africa, so right.
All right.
Right here. So you see this? This right here would be South Africa.
Right, it's right above it, right there. So now check this out. So you check other because you understand. Well, I'm not black.
But you know when you
and even when you say African American, really, am I African American?
You're an African living in America.
Because guess what? The ones that were born in South Africa, they may have pale skin, right? But they were born in South Africa.
Bring it out!
When they come over to America, do they identify as African American? How come? They were born in Africa, and they now live in America. How come they don't identify as African American? Because the Bible tells you it's a byword that's been placed on the nation of Israel. That's why. You see that? This is what we have to understand. It said they did what, Nate?
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So now when you look at those bubbles and you're looking and searching through the nations or the nationality that they say that you could choose from, you don't see Israelite from the tribe of Judah. You don't see Israelite from the tribe of Gad. You don't see Israelite from the tribe of Ephraim. You don't see these as a nationality upon the earth today. You don't hear anyone saying that except for us right now. We have identified and have realized who we are according to the Bible. Guess who was in fear of that? Anybody hear of, I always forget your boy's name, the letter? Willie Lynch. You hear the Willie Lynch letter? So in the letter, after he spoke about making a slave, he said, now, our different scholars that we speak to told us we have to watch out. There's a phenomenon that can happen because the brain has a strong reasoning and force to want to correct itself and recorrect itself, right? And this phenomenon that he said the scholars warn them of is that they may come back to knowing who they are. Today we are that phenomenon. This is the phenomenon of breaking that chain of being a slave.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.